I played in college and I was student teaching at the time, so I thought both my parents were educators, so I thought I wanted to go into phys ed and health teaching, and so I was student teaching. It's crazy how long ago it seems that was. I was student teaching actually during 9/11, so I don't want to date myself here how old I am, but I remember being in a classroom teaching a health class when the planes went in. So that's one of my memories of my student teaching. I don't have many of them, but I remember teaching and I just didn't like it. Like I got to the point where I was student teaching and I'm like, I don't know if I want to do this for the rest of my life. And I was like, I need to figure out what I'm going to do. And my college coach was like, hey, you'd probably be all right getting into coaching. And my parents were like, hey, maybe that's the route to go. And I said, okay, let me, look at some GA spots and some stuff like that. And, and it worked out that I was able to get a job and started there. So I think it was like, okay, I don't want to teach. What can I do that keeps me involved in basketball? I don't want to be a high school coach. I want to be, work at the college level. I like the college level. And I think that's what happened. And, thankfully, the experience of teaching and student teaching taught me, okay, I don't know if I want to be in a classroom setting 5 days a week doing this from 6 a.m. to whatever. And I think that's really what shaped me getting into college basketball. And did I know I'd stay in it and be in it for, oh gosh, it's almost 20 years now. I didn't know that, you know what I mean? I didn't know. And, I'm glad I decided, I was pushed by the right people to jump into this world and go into college coaching. Yeah, there's a few, probably a few wins. My first year, we started playing real well at the end of the year, and we beat Rochester at Rochester. I think they were 7th in the country, and just a feeling just to have the guys know that we can compete and do this, and win some games on the road. And it would have been an unbelievable weekend. We lost in overtime to Emory the night on Friday night, so that would have been one of the best weekends in the hero ranks. So we were playing pretty well. And then probably this year on senior day, just with Mike Halls and Sam Hansen, they've been here with me since I've been here. They were two of the guys that made it through, and with Monty coming in my first year and beating Emory on senior day, and just those guys, just the work that they've put in, and the stuff they had to deal with, and not having the greatest career where not greatest seasons where you're NCAA tournament, but to be able to be part of building it and getting us where we need to get to. So that was, I think, a real special moment. The locker room after, guys going nuts, and just a win for those three guys to send them out in their last senior day, beating the number whatever rank they were in the country, and the way we did it, and what a good game it was. So I think those are some of the best memories I've had here, and just watching the guys graduate and the jobs they get. Sam and Monty going to med school, and Mike Hall's getting a great job. TJ Duckett's still in law school here, that played here. So, just the ability to see those guys graduate, and, the hard work they've put in, and then they go and do wonderful things in their lives. That's, I think, really, those are great memories I have. Yeah, that's probably two people. I would probably start with my father. Just growing up, he coached me playing baseball, not basketball. He didn't coach my baseball. He got my brother's baseball teams. I think he coached me basketball, and and then just whenever I was trying to figure out what I'm going to do, and just tell me, hey, I think you'd be a good coach. And after every game, win or lose, he car ride home or a bus ride and talk to me about the game, hear him tell me what I did wrong mostly. So he just the ability to push me to get into coaching, and then say, hey, this is a good career for you, and get advice on what jobs to take or where to look and everything like that. And then probably the basketball wise, Coach Nick Lambros, who was the coach at Hartwick College, where I was the head coach at for 7 years. I was assistant there for 2 years, so I've known Nick for ever, and we talk weekly, and the gym's named after him in Hartwick, and he's in the Hall of Fame in New York. And it seems like everyone knows him, and and he just is. Like, if you watch a lot of stuff my teams run, our teams here at Case at Hartwick, it has a lot of stuff to do with, what he preached upon us, our zone defenses, or, some of our plays we still play. We call 2 or 3 things Warrior or Hawks, and that's all Hartwick. Their nickname, they used to be the Warriors still, and now they're the Hawks. And so we have plays named after that. We have we actually have an out of bounds play called Lambros too. So, and when we played out of Florida, he came to both our games. So our guys know him. Our team here knows him because we'll come in the locker room and talk to him, and and he watches all our games. So I talked to him about what we can do. So him, just being able to run ideas off him, or him tell me that I don't know what the heck I'm doing or whatever, and so when I was young, I got a head job at 27 years old, and I thought I knew everything about everything. After being assistant, and you realize real quick you don't know anything about anything. Once you have to stand every game and tell your guys what to do, it's a little different world. So having him there when I was younger, my younger days, coaching and being able to talk to him, throw ideas off him, have him sit next to me on the bench, like that was, I don't think I'm where I'm at in this profession without him. I'm probably not the coach at Case Western because without him, it's just, so still talk to him. He's great, and so it's invaluable experience having him next to me all the time, and that was at Hartway. And when I got here, I actually like the first game or two, I was so used to having him on the bench. I was would look down and he wasn't there, and I'm like, oh gosh, he's not going to tell me I need to be in zone right now or timeout or whatever, and so it was it was a little shocking, because you're so used to someone being next to you for so long, and then you're standing there and you're in a new job and you're waiting for him to tell you something and he's not there, and you're like, okay, you realize how invaluable he was. Yeah, thinking about that one, it's changed in the ways it's changed is when I was growing up, I played everything. I played, in the fall we were playing golf, or we were playing baseball or whatever we were doing. Then we were going to basketball, then we were going to baseball, and I just played everything. I think about nights where I would be playing a basketball summer league game and I'd have to run to a baseball game, or I played baseball and then I was going right to a summer league basketball game. And I think really now, and there wasn't AAU then, you did more stuff with your high school teams. You were really involved, you go to camps, you go to your high school camps, then do stuff like that. It really doesn't exist that much anymore. Everyone wants to play AU or have skill trainers or have, specialize and only play one sport. You see that a lot. And that's really, I think, what's changed is, the ability to play, and then I was trying to think what I played in the fall. I played soccer for a long time too. So just the ability to do all three, and, the ability to, okay, I'm going to go, and at night we'd go and I'd go play pickup at a park. Even when I was in college, I'd go, and there's a park where I grew up outside Pittsburgh, and we'd just go play pickup. People would be there and you'd go play, and it was great. You wouldn't worry about, hey, I have to play in a league or I have to play in this AU team. You just went and played, and so that's totally different. You drive around Cleveland or areas, you never see anyone playing outside anymore, and I played all the time outside. And then just the ability how it's changed is no one's playing, everything's individualized, and have trainers and this or that, instead of saying, okay, I'm just going to go get better on my own, and I'm just going to go play against older men, or I'm going to go and play against guys that are stronger than me and tougher than me, and that's how I'm going to get better, and I think that doesn't happen as much anymore. That's a good question. I grew up in Pittsburgh, so I got to go to a lot of Penguins and Steelers and Pirates games, so I could say a lot of those. I don't really remember many of them. I was a little bit younger, but being able to go there, and they were winning a lot when I was growing up. So I remember one that's interesting. I saw when McGuire was hitting all those home runs. He played in Pittsburgh, and I had seats. Someone got me seats right behind home plate, so it was the first row back. And he hit 2 home runs in Pittsburgh that year when he was on the chase. And I've never heard a ball sound off the bat like that. So I remember that one. I was in college, and I think I was in college, and it was amazing, how big he was, how strong he was, and how crazy the Pirates were for pitching to him, you know what I mean? So, and then I have a lot of the memories at Hartway, a lot of fond memories. Probably the best one there is my second year. We won on a Friday night. We were in the conference one, so we played a Friday night in Hoboken, New Jersey. We beat Stevens, and Ithaca was the 1 seed, and they got upset, so we actually got to host it on Sunday, and we played, I think, at 2 or 3 o'clock, and we had it, Hartway kind of had the winning season in 1995, so the place was an absolute zoo. I remember I walked out, we had like shoot around, and I like walked out to go, I didn't live far from campus, so I go home and get ready for the game, and it was like noon, and there were already people lined up outside. I was like, whoa, is this going to be a crowd? And our locker room was a big space, and we had alumni there and some of the students, and there were like different rooms, but then it was just like a giant space, and we had like a sauna, and the students were like in the sauna and like sitting everywhere, getting tailgating, as I would say correctly here without saying it. And I said, oh, we're not losing. Like, there's no way we're losing this game. And we ended up beating the team and going to NCAA tournament. So that's probably one of my favorite memories, is just like that atmosphere of like, hey, like, this is awesome. Our gym, it was absolutely insane. There's no way, you know, and then it was, you know, we hosted the NCAA tournament there, and it's the same way. So a lot of fun memories about wins there. And then probably my memorable of myself outside of Case Western is I have two memories. When I was in 10th grade, we were playing a rival, and I was on the varsity, and you know, we were playing, and one guy was going to Pitt. We were playing against a 7-footer, and the night before, I was sitting at home with my dad. It was North Carolina played Maryland. Vince Carter like caught the ball on the ground and threw it off the backboard, or one of the guys did, and like someone came in and like dunked it off there. So the next night, where there's like 10 seconds to go in the game, I'm laying flat on my back, fouling to get the ball, and I threw it up over my head and banked it in. And we won the game. That was how we won the game. It was, I remember like it was yesterday, because I didn't know what to do. We didn't have any timeouts left. And I was like, all right, I saw the play the night before, so let me throw it up. So it was all over the paper. It would have been on, the crazy thing, it would have been all over YouTube and everything nowadays, but like, I don't even think we had a video of it then. So, but I remember like it was yesterday. I was laying there, I'm like, I don't know what the heck to do. You know, all right, let me throw it up to the rim, at least we can get a chance. And it banked in. I on my back, and no one even knew, because they were like, why would you even shoot it? And, you know, and then when I was in college, we were playing Waynesburg, and there was 2 seconds to go in the first half. They threw it into me. I took one dribble and threw 3 quarters and switched it. So, and then of course that we can't find it either. It was on video. So, you know, the technology's changed a lot. But it was unbelievable. I refused to shoot another 3 the rest of the game, so I was 1 for 1. So I refused. I said, everyone's like I was open. I'd take like 2 steps in and make sure I didn't shoot another 3, because I wanted to be the 1-1. And I remember the next day, my buddy and I, good friends of mine, and he like called McGuinness out of bounds play. And so like we were like, dude, like full court, like try offense to get loose. And I took one dribble and launched it in practice the next day. And needless to say, I ran a little bit for that one. But, you know, so I remember those two. Like, I don't remember many things about playing, but I remember those two just being like insane things that I probably I don't think I could ever do either one of them, especially now. I don't think, in our gym down here, the roof's not high enough. I probably would have hit the roof anyway. So, you know, those are two memorable things of playing and, you know, just coaching. So there's a lot, you know, I've had a lot. I've been blessed to coach great kids and great athletes and win a lot of games. And so, you know, it's hard to narrow it down, but, you know, sometimes remember certain things, certain atmospheres, and probably forget a lot of things you don't want to remember too. There's probably 2 things. I think people know I boat a lot, so I think people know that, you know, people maybe in our department, a few people know that. So I spend a lot of time on my boat in summer. I don't know how I even got into that. When I lived in upstate New York, and my buddy had a boat on Cooperstown Lake and on Lake Otsego, and it was awesome. And so he moved to a different job, and my buddy and I bought his boat, and then now, you know, and that lake was glass. So then I get to Cleveland, and I get another boat, and I go out in Lake Erie for the first time, and I realize, well, that's a real lake compared to what I was on, and this isn't as fun as it used to be, because this lake is a lot rougher and bigger. And then probably shoes. I have a lot of shoes. So people that come into my house, we have a ton of shoes in our house on the way into the house, and then in boxes everywhere. So I have a ton of shoes. So I think I could wear a different pair of shoes for like that are pretty new for 60 straight days and not wear the same one. So I have a lot of shoes. And I wear size 14, so they're not easy to find. So I keep very good care. The pair I have on today was brand new, and I probably had them for like 2 years. So I'm not like a sneaker head. Like I'm not one of those guys that's going out buying crazy shoes. I know what I like, and they're all Nike. I don't wear really anything else. So and then so that's probably, some people know that because they come to my house and they're like, "Oh my gosh, you have a lot of shoes." I'm like, "We haven't seen half of them." So, and I'll probably, anytime I'm near a Nike outlet or somewhere, I'm always looking too. So if anyone needs any shoe recommendations, let me know.